Yo, JD here, Tyrolinus, and as you can see, we are finally back with some League Racing videos. My aim is to do 2 League Race videos per week, and yeah, just so hyped to be bringing this back. And this is WOR, so World Online Racing League, round 1 at Australia. And I was feeling very confident going to this because I managed to get pole position in Inside Line Racing League against the likes of Surprise, Velocity Surprise, and Syra. And yeah, in this league it's going to be very competitive as well. First bank lap of a 19.7. I've done a 19.5 before when I got my pole position in the other league, so I knew that was within the tank. I'm in the Williams car, which I thoroughly enjoy driving. It feels very nice in this game. And we managed to do it at 19.6 with 4 minutes to go. And that puts me on provisional pole position ahead of LCR Leopard and CRG Pinecone at this point. About to start the lap here, and Visara pumps in a 119.5, and I have to say, being on the controller and using the controller a little bit myself recently, that is a phenomenal lap time. So GG to him, easily the best pad driver on this game in my opinion as of right now. But going for his first corner, absolutely nailing that. I don't think I could have got any quicker going for that first corner. Leopard, I think, invalidated his first 2 turns, so he's actually already aborted his lap, so he's not going to finish ahead of me. So we are going to finish ahead of LCR Leopard, who I think is a very strong contender for this title. Completely fast out for the right-hander. Done this track so much recently. First sector, not purple. Pad, I feel, is better on traction on the wheel in this game, and the first sector you definitely need it in at turn 3 and 4. Now going into the middle sector, very good sector for me, but I wouldn't say, I was about to say it was my favourite, but I think the last sector is my favourite. So about to complete sector 2 now. Let's see what we're going to do through this middle sector as we actually got purple for it. And now this is my favourite sequence. I really enjoy, I think my driving style was very suited to high speed change of direction. That's why I love probably Silverstone so much. Going to this, leaving absolutely nothing on the table, using every inch of the track here. Again, trying to maximise the track as much as possible, leaving it in 5th gear for that engine braking. And on my previous lap I made a bit of a mistake here through this last corner. This time, gaining time, going up towards the line. We have no slipstream this time. Coming across the line at a 19.4, and you can see how happy I am with that. And I did a 19.4 a few times in practice, so I was consistently hitting my PB every other session, I would have to say. So 19.4 puts me on pole position for this race, and after the disaster I had in the Inside Line Racing League, I was really looking to try and make up for it here. So I've had a couple of poles now in this game, so it feels good to actually kind of rectify my weakness in last game, I have to say, was my qualifying, and I feel like I pretty much almost turned that around here. And you'll probably notice the transition between the slides. I'm actually using a new video editing software, so touch wood, it's going well. It's going to take me a little while to get used to, but Movie Maker has officially, yeah, just become extinct now. So, but now, got to start on pole position. I just really wanted a clean race because I haven't really had clean races recently. And this race was from a couple of weeks ago, so yeah, this wasn't recent, it was definitely a couple of weeks ago. Waiting for everyone to line up on the grid. We've got Syra, 2 McLarens right behind me with CRG Pinecone, I think, just behind them as well. And my teammate, I think he's in 5th, 6th, something like that. So hoping for good points in Constructors, but obviously I want to win this title, and we've started it off perfectly so far. So we've got 5 lights. Away we go now, getting a decent start, but Cyber just with that controller, I think he admitted this himself, it just gets such good starts. So we get squeezed a little bit, but he did absolutely nothing wrong there. And now I'm coming under attack from Leopard and the guys behind. We're going to go to, still really tight. We've actually been pushed out wide by CRG Pinecone. We've lost 2 positions, 3 positions here now as Leopard, and I'm not sure who that is, stands even about to come into contact. I managed to recover back into 4th. But yeah, we're going to do a little bit of a zoom in and a slow motion here. In my opinion, it was very tight, but I certainly didn't expect him to go down the inside there. He makes contact to me there, as you can see. I was always the car ahead, if you look back at the other footage the whole time. And I'm not really going to say too much now. I'll let you guys decide what you think, but in my opinion, I don't really think I did anything wrong. I was the car ahead. He was carrying quite a bit of speed there, and the angle of it made it 3 wide. I didn't really expect it, but now Leopard and Pinecone are going together here as Leopard, Pinecone's actually gone up wide, and we have just been collected by him, and that wasn't his fault or anything. I think he just lost the car. I didn't even see any contact from Leopard there on him. And yeah, I don't think I really could have avoided that, to be honest. I think in the moment, maybe you could say you could have broke a bit more or anything, but yeah, I think no really words for that one. Coming to the pits, and to top it off, cherry on the cake, we get 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, which the game still doesn't let you serve straight away. It actually waits for you to do it in your next pit stop. So we're going to change our wing. Luckily this time, compared to other league races did, it didn't let me change my wing, but this time we are changing my wing. Gone back into P11, Pinecone gone out ahead of me, and we actually put on the medium tyre, which, looking back at it now, I think it was probably an error. Could have gone hards to the end, but they would have been extremely warm. But in my mind at the time, I was just thinking, do 2 medium stints, try and catch up as possible, and just be as rapid as I can at the end of the race. But coming off here now, kind of another trend that's going on in my races right now. When I kind of lose my head, I just end up spinning the next lap after, or I either spin on the qualifying lap in my first run, or I just spin during the race at some point. So race, yeah, that's league racing for you. That's just what happens. You can have a perfect qualifying like I did, and then don't get a good start in the race, and it just kind of falls apart. But a few laps later, catching up to Leobot now, who's an AOR veteran. I've been racing for many years now, in P14 out of 14, so we are last in this race. And right now I was just thinking, if I could get any points, that'd be somewhat of a miracle and kind of good damage limitation really. So, but obviously in my mind I was very disappointed, because I just felt I could have really fought for the win around this track today, which I've proven in a couple of races now here by getting pole position in both of my leagues around here. And no doubt that we had some serious pace here, but just kind of really try and block that out of my mind, and really just trying to use it for the rest of this race now, because we are going to have to make another pit stop as well. We're only on lap 7, and these mediums, they initially felt pretty good, but after a few laps they kind of really died off, and it's really the harder tyre I feel is probably a better tyre to be at this point in the race really. As we've got Leobot, he's going to the right, we're going to go down the inside into fast left-hander, and as always, very clean, respectful racer of Leobot. He gives me room there, and I think I was just quite frustrated from what happened before, so I really didn't care at this point in the race. I was just going to do it no matter what. But now skipping on to lap 9, we've actually caught up to some cars. Leobot's a little bit behind because he's on the, I think he started on the medium tyre as well, and now we're behind a Sync Tom as we go down the inside. I'm not sure what was happening there. I think he lost his wing, so we just took advantage of that. It went down the inside, and now we're behind ERL Viper 9, and we're into P11 now, so only 1 point off the points paid positions. And you can see in the right hand side of the mini map, see the leaders already going to sector 3. So we've lost so much time from just spinning, breaking our wing, and having we haven't even served the 5-second stop go penalty yet. So going up to the back of ERL Viper and looking ahead, you can see there's some cars ahead. There's about 3 cars ahead of him, so there's still potential to get in amongst the top 10. If I could get in anyway inside the top 10, as much points as possible, I would actually be quite happy with this kind of recovery here. Teammate is already in the pits, and I know he's near the front of the race, so we're not even that far away from being lapped at this point. It's only lap 10 of this race. He goes out wide, ERL Viper here, so we're going to take advantage of this. He started on the hard tyre, it seems, and we're on a much quicker tyre at this point. Rich hot lap, he doesn't really fight it too much, thankfully, and now we've got about a 5-second gap to Jam Pancakes 44, what a name that is. I'm going to skip on to the end lap 13 now. Started to catch them quite a bit, but I felt my tyres were just going off, and I felt, you know what, they haven't pitted yet on the hards. I'm just going to pit for the hards now, try and get a little bit of an undercut on them, and just see what I can do here. Now I was pretty confident I was going to get in the top 10 at this point, so pace has been reasonably good, but I just felt, yeah, it was probably a wrong decision to go on these medium tyres, and now I have to serve the 5-second stop go penalty, and that was just completely my fault, just going too fast into the pits. But easier said than done to try and keep your head in a race situation. Coming out in P12 now, and we've got Sync Tom, I think is just about to overtake me, put me back in P13, which he does. He's on these soft tyres. He's actually pitted for a soft tyre there, because I think, as I said, I think he broke his wing or something. And a few laps later, a couple laps later, we've gone onto the back of him once again. So these hard tyres are surprisingly actually not only durable, but they're actually very, very good as well. And he's defending quite a bit, although we're back in P13 here, which of course you want to race no matter what. We get the switch back on him as he goes on the grass, but he's actually going to hold it round the outside, almost losing his steering here. Not really going to take any risks. We're just going to allow him to have this corner, because I think the softs, even after a few laps, will actually go off pretty quickly. So we're going to get a good run on him here. He's going mega defensive. Once again, I think someone else, I think that's Leobot, just coming out of the pits here. So we're going to try and go around the outside, get pushed a little bit wide, but I think that was fair. He had the racing line there and all good, and we're just going to continue. But we've got Leobot ahead of him, who I think is on the medium tyre. So with that 5 second stop go, he's got a bit of an undercut on me. But going on to lap 16 now, he keeps on hitting that grass. He really seems to like that grass. And again, getting the switch back in, and we're going to go round the outside, so we actually go brake later, brake deeper into the corner, which gives us the inside for the last corner. He's still trying to fight it around the outside, but we actually do have DRS. We actually lock wheels a little bit there. Luckily we didn't spin or anything. I've got DRS, should be able to get on the racing line just before going into turn 1, and now we've got our sights set on Leobot and potentially anyone else who's within close proximity of him. And yeah, no real threat from Sync Tom going into here now. And on these hard tyres, feeling pretty good. Probably the freshest hard tyres we've got out of everyone here. And now, a little bit later, it actually took me quite a bit of time to actually catch up to Leobot, because the medium tyres were doing pretty well for him. Caught up on lap 26, thinking about going down the inside here, but I don't really want to risk losing any points or damaging my wing or anything. So just being a little bit more patient now, as we've got another hard runner right behind me, who's I think is on even fresher hard tyres than myself, going into here now in P11, and we've actually got a 3-second time penalty, and that's actually that could be pretty crucial. I might not even get any points here, so it's pretty yeah, it's pretty demanding that we need to get past them as quick as possible. And we're going to check how many penalties he's got in front, as Jeff slowly goes through it. And he has a time penalty of 6 seconds. And he makes a bit of a mistake there, so we're going to go down the inside. So we only got 3 seconds. So technically we are 3 seconds ahead of him as we squeeze him a little bit out wide here. And now we've got a little train of cars ahead of us who we could potentially try and nab off if we can just get up to speed pretty quickly here as much as possible. But coming on to the last lap of the race now, this is actually my fastest lap of the race. You can see quite low on fuel. We've got a reasonable amount of ERS. I decided really to just turn it up and just see how much I could really push here. Kind of left the guys behind for dead, but the guys ahead is going to be a little bit too far away. Nonetheless, you don't know how many penalties I have, as LCR Leopard has already won the race. So with that 2-stop strategy and that penalty, yeah, we lost a fair chunk of time here. But Leobot was actually already retired from the race. And going into here, we're going green. As I said, this is my actual fastest lap of the race, because these tyres are just super durable. Going into this corner, I really do enjoy this corner, a really good slingshot effect. But yeah, the race itself, I think it really kind of shows the highs and lows of league racing. You can have some really big moments where you feel you're absolutely on top of it, but then in an instant it can just completely change. And going back to the incident itself, as I say, I'm not really going to comment too much about it. I just feel it wasn't my fault at all. Could have defended maybe a little bit tighter, but you don't really expect someone to be trying to go into a gap that small, making it 3 wide. And I was always the car ahead at that point, so I had no reason to give any room. And although I did give room, I felt I actually still gave room, but I thought I wasn't really given any room. So that's the only thing I was saying that, but you just got to just try and move on from those things, take the positives from it, which I definitely will. Came home in P10 in this race, obviously not that happy about that, but as I said, just got to take the positives, move on to the next one. I just want to say thank you so much for 76,000 subscribers and for always supporting my videos. I really appreciate it. Next league race will be a good one. Can't wait for that one. But as always, Thank you so much and see you soon. Peace.
It's so